I was a complete disaster at learning languages at school. I never did any sort of qualification in any language, and I'm now on my fourth language. I'm currently studying Polish, and in this video I'm going to show you perhaps the most important thing that I do to help me to learn languages. And in doing so, I think I'm going to show you a couple of features in YouTube that teachers don't seem to know anything about, or language learners don't seem to know anything about, and a couple of features in Google Translate, including what I call the magic button. I'm basing this video on a recent conference that I gave in Poland, because these days I do presentations and conferences about language learning. And literally all the teachers and all the language learners in the audience said they didn't know about these features. I really hope you like this video, and if you do, please like it, please comment on it, please share it with other teachers and language learners, but most of all, I'd love to have more of you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please don't forget to give me a few hype points. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the YouTube features. I'm going to go through this as quick as possible. Let's imagine I'm going to write shopping in English. Now this will work in any language, but I'm going to do it for finding videos in English. First thing, did you realize that when you search for videos on YouTube, you've got a filter button over here, and you can click on that filter button and you can say, well, I only want videos, say 4 to 20 minutes long, or I only want videos under 4 minutes, but I also only want videos that have got subtitles. Now having videos with subtitles, I'm going to click on that button, is super useful. And I'm also going to click on the filters and choose videos that are only 4 to 20 minutes long. That's going to give you a completely different set of videos. Now watch this then. A lot of people don't realize if you click on a video that's got a transcript, what you need to do is just come down underneath that video, underneath the little bit of the description here, and click on the more button. If you click on the more button and then scroll down, there is a brilliant button, and you'll find it here. It's called transcripts. Now when you click on that transcript button, the transcript opens here on the right hand side. Now there's some really clever things now that you can do with this transcript, because you've got the video and you've got the transcript there on the right. You can copy it, you can use it to control the video. Let me show you. So if I start playing the video, look what I can do. I can click on the transcript on the right hand side, and that will actually control the video. Now this is useful for language students who want to repeat a certain phrase and maybe copy it or listen to it several times to get the pronunciation right. And this is something that I do in Polish a lot. So let me show you. I'm going to click on the button.
Of course you have. But have you ever been grocery shopping in an American grocery store?
Let me click here.
I would like to speak English with Vanessa.com. Would you like to go grocery shopping with me? Let's do it.
Let's click again.
Speak English with Vanessa.com. Would you like to go grocery shopping with me? Let's do it. Speak English with Vanessa.com.
That's really useful, because you can basically use that to jump around and click on any part of the video. Now I'm going to show you some more features, and the most important one we're going to get to in a second. First of all, really useful is that you can turn off these timestamps here on the left hand side if they're getting in the way. Click here and turn on that button there, and it will toggle off the timestamps. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is super important. Now I'm going to show you two really special features and why having this transcription here on the right hand side is so useful. First of all, watch this. I'm going to select, say for example, I'm going to hold my mouse down and select this sentence. Let's imagine that I'm learning English and I'm a Spanish speaker, and I'm going to copy that. So I'm going to right click and copy. I'm going to come over to Google Translate. So if you've got a Gmail account, you've got Google Translate. Yeah, it's just in your apps. Okay, just go to Google Translate, and then I've got it selected from English. Let's imagine that I'm a Spanish person, so I want a translation into Spanish, or I'm a Spanish speaker. So I would just literally paste in the sentence, and it's going to give me an explanation. Now, incredibly, I can save those sentences by clicking on this button, and I'm going to explain more about that in a minute. But I just want to show you one other really special feature first before I show you more about Google Translate in YouTube. So let me just click back again. It is possible, for example, say I'm a Spanish person learning English, to have the translation here on the screen in Spanish, but have the transcription here on the right in English. So if I come down here and I click on subtitles, and then I choose, and let me just do that again, I click here, I choose auto translate, then I can choose my language, and I'm going to choose Spanish. So I click here, and then now, and of course I've got many other languages that I can choose for. You have to kind of go through it alphabetically to find your language. Now I would have the translation in Spanish on the screen, but the transcript in English, or the transcript in English on the right hand side. Now that's only really possible when the translation has been uploaded, or when the transcript has been uploaded, because when the transcript is uploaded, then it's very easy for YouTube to then translate that into multiple languages. Remember that the translations will not be perfect. They're going to be a direct translation from the original transcript, but that is super useful, and it was a feature that at the beginning I was using a little bit when I was learning Polish. Okay, really hope you like those features in YouTube, and if you do, please click on the like button, because it really helps me to boost my rankings on YouTube. One thing is, you might want to build YouTube quizzes. So you might like to do comprehension checks and true or false questions around the YouTube videos that you work with if you're a teacher and a student. And if you want to do that, there's a fantastic technology called EdCafe, and I've made a video about it, and it has a great free offer, and I'll put that on the screen now, and you can watch that and learn about EdCafe and have a brilliant tool for language teachers and language students. I'm going to go on now and show you the magic button in Google Translate and some other features that you might not know about. So let's move over to Google Translate, and then let's take another sentence just to quickly show you what you can do. You just copy a sentence. Okay, so let's take this one here. So Control Copy. I'm going to jump over to Google Translate, and let's say that I'm a Spanish speaker, so I want the translation into Spanish. You can always click here to change the language. I'm going to paste in the English, and again you would set the language that you're translating from, and then it will give me the translation into Spanish. Now there's a couple of other features that you might not be aware of. First of all, this one's very useful. You can actually click and listen to the sentence being read out.
Hopefully you will learn some useful vocabulary.
Okay, so that can be very useful. I find that very useful in Polish. But obviously, if you've saved the word, so click here to save the word. If you want to see your saved sentences, click down here, and they will all come up on the right-hand side. Now, in my case, I'm normally using Google Translate to study Polish, and you can probably see here, if we come down, lots of examples of me here with sentences in Polish and then the translation. And one of the nice things about having all those words saved is that I can just review the pronunciation of the words by clicking.
Uznaliśmy. W zeszłym roku obiecaliśmy sobie.
Okay, so if I want to repeat the word, then I can do that. So that's useful. If you want to delete a word from your list, then just click here. So if I click here, so obviously I'm not really learning Spanish. I already speak Spanish pretty well, but let me just get rid of those ones here. So I've got all Polish ones, because I want to show you in a minute how the magic button works. Now, if you then search for another sentence, just to finally show you this before we show you the magic button, let's say, for example, have you ever been grocery shopping? So I copy that. Again, I right click and copy, and come over here. I've already saved this word, okay, so I've already got this word saved. So if I click on it, and I've already got it saved, so I can delete that then now, because I've already saved it, paste in the new word, save that. It will be added to my list here on the right hand side, okay? And then if I search for another word now, I just delete that because I've already saved it. So if you want to clear all the words, just click over here on the right hand side and click clear all saved, and it will completely start again. Now what I'm going to do now is show you my favorite feature in Google Translate. Just a super quick break from the video. If you do like what you're seeing and you want more free videos, then come over to my website, teachertrainingvideos.com. I specialize in making videos to show teachers and students how to use technology in their language teaching and their language learning. And there's loads of content on the website. Also, if you're a language teacher, think about signing up to the newsletter. As well as getting updated on all the latest videos, there's a free 14-part course where I basically highlight some of the key technologies that we're using in language teaching. And many of the tools that I highlight are completely free. Also, if you were interested in having more training with me, then join me on Patreon. You get free videos every month with no advertising, and you get the chance to meet me online as well for an hour's training. We do an hour's training every month with the Patreon group where we actually work with the technology so you really learn to use them well. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the video. Remember, you can open up and close your saved sentences by just clicking here. So I've currently got 20 phrases in Polish that I'm currently learning, and what I can do is I can click on this button here. This is the magic button, export to Google Sheets. You'll see why in a minute. When I click on it, then click on import the data, and that is going to bring the list of words that I'm currently studying in Polish into Google Sheets. Now, you don't need to worry too much about these first two columns. All you need to do is open up the other two, so just hold your mouse down and pull them nicely open so you've got the complete sentence clearly marked out here. Let me just pull that out even further just to make sure it's there. I've got all of the sentences in Polish on the left hand side and all the translations into English. Now let's say, for example, that I wanted to study these first 10, and I would advise you to study about 10 of the words. So I'm going to go for those words there. Now, I don't always focus on individual words. I tend to work with sentences and choose the word in a sentence. However, if the word's really tricky or I'm struggling with it and I just want to learn it on its own, then sometimes I do that. And you can see here I have been focusing on some difficult words. Now all I'm going to do is right click and copy those words. I'm going to come over to Quizlet. Now I do have a free account in Quizlet. I've just logged in to my account here and I'm on my home button. So you will need to create a Quizlet account, but I'm only using the free tool. And then what I want you to do is to click on this button here, because I'm going to make a set of flashcards and you're going to see that it will make them instantly. So click here, click on new flashcard set, and I don't want to upgrade. So I'm just going to simply click on import and paste in all of those sentences that I've copied. And then I'm going to click on import. Now I'm going to do a couple of other things. So I've now got all of those words in Polish on one side and in English on the other. I'm going to give this a title and I'm going to call this difficult words. This is just really for me in Polish, November 25. So I just remember that. I don't need to do any type of description. Now there's just one tip. You do need, when you do this, to click on the very first word. You only need to do this on the first one. Just click on it and it will activate the languages. So now we've got Polish and English. And now we're ready to play the game. I'm going to show you some great features to remember when you're playing a game in Quizlet that make it really, really useful as a language learning tool. Just click on the create button. And when you click on that create button, the game, we won't need to share this for now. You can share it. I want you to click on flashcards, this one here. And what I want you to do is to come over to the settings first. And I'm just going to quickly explain what I do. First of all, you want to make sure that at the front, in my case, I'm learning Polish, so I'm going to have Polish at the front, and then I'm going to try to guess what the sentence means and translate it into English. And then the second thing is I need to come down to text to speech, and I want that on because I want to be able to hear the sentences. Now, it is possible, in fact, if you want to click on here, view, and you may want, if you scroll down, you don't necessarily want to have the text to speech on in the native language that you speak. So I want to concentrate on the Polish, not on the English, obviously. So I'm going to click on that. So with those settings in mind, I'm going to close it down. Now I can play the game. So this first one, I can click here to listen.
W ogóle nie dociera.
It doesn't arrive. Click. Doesn't arrive at all. Okay, w ogóle, yeah, it doesn't arrive at all. Next one.
Ja właśnie udam się na ten mój wymarzony kurs jogi.
So go to my dream course, yoga course. And again, Yeah, going to my dream yoga course. Next one,
Uznaliśmy.
decided. Okay, so you can see how I can use this tool. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, good translation isn't a good thing. I'm on my fourth language. I actually find it pretty helpful. I'm not against it. I was trained to be very much against translation. I was taught that, you know, you learn a language through the language. I agreed to some degree that that works. Lots of exposure to the language is really important. I did the CELTA, I did the Delta, I did a master's degree in using technology in education. But I do find that when I'm working and studying, particularly on my own, translation is very useful. And it's quite interesting that I don't need to have a perfect translation because I'm actually watching the YouTube video and I'm seeing the language in context. I just need sometimes to know, well, what does that sentence mean? And I find that this really does help me with pronunciation, with my listening skills, with my vocabulary. Most of the time, as I said, I do tend to learn the sentences or learn the vocabulary in a sentence, though there are times when I just want to focus on the word. I really hope that's been helpful. So if you were interested in studying a bit more with me, then obviously the first thing you could do is sign up to the newsletter. And don't forget, if you sign up to the newsletter, you'll get that free mini 14-part course, which highlights some of the key technologies that teachers and students are using to learn and study languages. The second thing you can do, particularly if you're a teacher, is to join me on Patreon. Now, if you join me on Patreon, you will get 3 videos a month, and these videos are exclusive to Patreon. I often cover technologies that I don't even cover on YouTube. These are really for teachers, and there are lots of practical ideas about using technology in your teaching and learning. But not only that, you'll actually meet me once a month live online. And it's a chance for us to actually practice using some of these technologies. Now, if you can't make the live sessions, of course, I record them for all my Patreons. Now, at the moment, there's a special offer as well. If you join Patreon, which is only $6 a month, and you can leave at any time, you will also get access to all of the videos that I've already put up on Patreon, which is 2 years worth of content. The last thing that you can think of doing is joining me on my very popular course, which is called Technologies and Approaches to Blended, Hybrid and Teaching Online. It's very popular. I do that in conjunction with NILE. That's a 6-week course that includes 6 meetings with me online, as well as lots of material that you have to work through, and you have to build an e-portfolio. It's one of the most successful courses I've ever run, and again, that is exclusively for language teachers. You can click on the link below and get more information about that. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave some videos on the screen now and some useful playlists that you might find helpful.